If you have an old cedar chest or hope chest and you're tired of keeping it in storage because it's out of style, watch today's video and I'll show you how to give it a makeover. This is a Lane cedar chest that I got in during the 1980s, and I used it for several years, then it got out of style and it's been in storage in our shed, hence all the dust. But I decided I'm tired of it being in the shed, I'm gonna give it a facelift, so today's video I'm gonna show you how to do that. Okay, so I'm gonna get started. First, obviously, I'm gonna have to empty out many years of memorabilia, but the big picture is we're gonna take off the top and I'm going to fill these screw holes because we're not going to have the upholstery anymore. Fill in the screw holes and stain the top. I have new hardware for the front that I found at Hobby Lobby, one of my favorite stores, on clearance for $1.24. So we're going to update the hardware. We're going to clean it all up with some TSP, so I'll show you that. Sand it and then spray paint it with chalk paint. So hopefully this will give it quite the transformation. Okay, it looks like I have a little bit more work than I thought on this top. There's some stamped numbers on it, but I think with some wood filler and some sanding, I can make that look pretty good. I want that to be dark and the rest of this to be white.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and fill the holes. We've got some plastic wood, and this is made by DAP. It's a natural finish to it. And what that'll do is it goes on pink, and as it dries, it'll actually change colors into the natural wood color. So we're just going to take a razor blade and take that and just peel some out. Put it on the end of the razor blade and just kind of smooth it over the holes. Okay, you're just going to keep working that into the hole, and you're going to leave a little excess on top. That'll just be sanded off, and once that's sanded, it'll be a flat finish. The direction says it takes about 2 hours for it to dry. After that's complete, just sand it again.
For the body of the chest, I am just going to have Ross spray paint this. So we're not going to be sanding and stuff. I am going to fill these holes so we can put the new hardware. But to clean it so that the paint will stick, we're going to use TSP. And you can follow the directions on the back. The direction is for 2 gallons of water. I don't have nearly that much water, so I'm just going to put a little bit of this in some warm water and just scrub it so that the paint will stick to it. We need to go ahead and fill in the holes of the old hardware. Surprisingly, the new ones almost line up, so it's not going to be hardly visible at all, but we do need to get these filled in. So we'll let that dry before we sand off the excess and wash it up. But you can see that this is going to cover really nice, and Ross is just going to pre-drill some wood screw holes for the new hardware. I just got done sanding the holes that Ross plugged, and it looks fantastic. So I'm wiping off the dust, and I'm going to go ahead and put a coat of stain on it. This says it's early American. I wasn't too particular. I just wanted something nice and dark. Okay, second coat is done. One coat wasn't quite dark enough, so I did 2 coats, but now it's exactly what I was hoping for.
All right, everything is sanded down, and I'm just going to go ahead and do the first coat on it. It's just going to be a flat primer. putting on the primer gives the paint a good bond. And so we'll go ahead and shoot that on, and then after that dries, we'll go ahead and put the chalk paint on. All right, so we got the primer on, it's dried, and everything's looking pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and apply the chalk paint and do a coat on that. And probably end up doing 2 coats, so it's even coverage. So go ahead and do that.
Ross did a fantastic job with the chalk paint. So what we noticed, if your trunk has grooves on it, the spray paint doesn't get in there, and you don't want to concentrate on that area because it would create runs. So you can see this side here, I've taken just regular craft paint and put it in a bowl and a brush, and I have just smashed it into that line. So found a paint that was the same color as the chalk paint, and so just smashed it into the groove. And then this is a wet cloth, just wiped it off. And then I'm gonna hit it really lightly with chalk paint again to make sure that the texture is the same. I did the same on this side, this half of the medallion. So it's your choice on the look. I wanted it filled in, so I'm gonna go ahead and continue that on this side.
So the chalk paint is all applied. I put on 2 coats of that. 2 coats of primer, 2 coats of chalk paint. Now I'm just going to put a matte clear covering on it. It's ultra covered 2 times by Rust-Oleum. We're going to do that on this and also on the top. So that'll give it a good protection from any dings or any water that might get splashed on it if possible. And that'll protect that. So I'll go ahead and apply that. All right, everything is back together. We got the TV on it, and it just absolutely turned out great. So from going from an old hope chest into a TV stand, it'll still be used as a hope chest, but we just really like it. And if you have any questions or comments, comment down below. And if you want to give us a thumbs up, we always appreciate it. And thanks for watching DIY on the House.